What's going on, everyone? Jeremy here from the Quartering, and it would appear that the things in the Twitter lawsuit between Elon Musk and Twitter directly are getting a little stinky. That's right. The new court documents reveal exactly what's going on, and they actually used Elon's using a certain emoji as evidence as of him disparaging the company. Twitter looks really weird in this, but for whatever reason, who could possibly foresee this? The media is covering this as like, oh, Elon's definitely going to lose this lawsuit, just like he lost his hair, but he didn't lose his hair because he found a great thing, kind of like this video sponsor. We'll get into everything after a quick word from Keeps. Huge shout out to this video sponsor, Keeps. Keeps is a subscription service that focuses on making it easier and more affordable for men to treat their male pattern baldness at home. With Keeps, you'll have access to online consultations with a real doctor, automated shipping with delivery to your home, constant access to your doctor through online messaging, and generic options of FDA-approved medications for hair loss. Look, Keeps has you covered. 2 out of 3 guys will experience some form of male pattern baldness by the time they're 35 years old. Keeps offers clinically proven, research-backed treatments to stop hair loss and improve hair growth. They have 24/7 customer care and support. And Keeps has everything you're ever going to need delivered straight to your door. Stop hair loss right now with Keeps. To get 50% off of your first order, go to keeps.com/thequartering. That's KEEPS.com/thequartering and stop hair loss today. Now, first I want to address Twitter is now coming out and denying any kind of major layoffs in terms of their quote-unquote restructure. That seems odd. You know, as like a normal human being, I've not quite sure I've ever heard of a company restructuring that didn't involve major layoffs, but this is not planning any anyway. Twitter's not looking at company-wide layoffs, but could likely continue to, quote, restructure the business, the social media company said in a filing on Wednesday. The filing comes a day after Twitter sued Tesla chief executive Elon Musk for violating his $44 billion deal to buy the company. We all know about that. Twitter also said on Wednesday that it sent Musk a formal request to approve 2 tailored employee retention programs in June, but he has not provided his consent. Musk did not immediately respond to a request for comment when reached through Tesla. Twitter employees have expressed widespread concern about Musk taking over the company because of his preferences for cutting headcount and other costs. You mean being profitable? Decreasing content moderation and limiting remote work. That's what they're really worried about. That's what they're really worried about. Of course, this is on top of them, pausing hiring, but things get a little weird now. Twitter complains that Elon Musk used a poo emoji to disparage them, which, by the way, is ridiculous in and of itself that this is in the court of law. But also, it's just patently incorrect. If you understand where he used it, why he used it, he wasn't talking about the company. He was just calling BS. Twitter complains Musk used it to disparage them, though. Twitter, which is attempting to force Elon Musk to consummate his buyout deal, reportedly cited a tweet in which he posted the emoji to claim he publicly disparaged them. The legal complaint from Twitter alleges that Musk violated his $44 billion takeover agreement by disparaging the company. Musk had threatened to quit the deal over concerns about bots and fake accounts. Musk's questions regarding the way Twitter handled spam and fake accounts prompted Twitter CEO Parag Agrawal protestations, claiming that it wasn't possible for Twitter to determine which accounts are fake on any given day. Musk had tweeted that he would prioritize removing bots from Twitter in early April. In early May, Twitter declared a filing that false or spam accounts represented less than 5% of its monetizable daily active users between January and March during the first quarter of this year. Quote, Twitter deal temporarily on hold, pending details supporting calculation that spam/fake accounts do indeed represent less than 5% of users. Musk tweeted on May 13th, The bots are angry at being counted. On May 16th, Argowal issued a series of tweets defending his company, saying, "First, let me state the obvious. Spam harms the experience for real people on Twitter and therefore can harm our business. As such, we are strongly incentivized to detect and remove as much spam as possible every single day. Anyone who suggests otherwise is just wrong. Our actual internal estimates for the last 4 quarters are well under 5% based on methodology outlined above. The error margins on our estimates give us a confidence in the public statements each quarter," Argowal continued. "Unfortunately, we do not believe this specific estimation can be performed externally, given the critical need to use both public and private information, which we cannot share. Externally is not even possible to know which accounts are counted as monthly active users on any given day." Musk simply replied with this, the poo emoji. Then writes, "So how do advertisers know what they're getting for their money? This is fundamental to the financial health of Twitter," Musk added. Now, the use of it, obviously, here is him saying, BS to the fact that you couldn't possibly calculate all the, monthly active users, which ones were real, which ones were fake, that, you just couldn't possibly do it. That's what he's saying. He's saying, no, you probably can do that. And by the way, if you haven't yet, there's been another weird subscriber purge here on YouTube. So if you can, make sure you subscribe by hitting the red subscribe button down below. And also, I'll be live streaming this afternoon between probably 4 and 6 Central Time. So I'd love for you to stop by. We'll talk about all the week's news, and I'd like to get your takes on everything going on. Last Friday, Musk's lawyer claimed that Twitter was in a material breach of the multiple provisions of the takeover. He stated that Twitter deal did not offer Musk the data Musk requested. Well, he's now responded to this as well. Twitter includes the emoji tweet as legal evidence against Elon Musk, so Elon responds with more of said emojis. Things have gotten so bad that Twitter and Elon are now throwing emojis at each other, almost literally. We all know that he pulled out of the deal. We know about the original emoji. Now, this was at the end of a string of tweets where Paraj disputes Elon's claim that there is more fake accounts than advertised. Again, I've talked about this before. The reason the fake accounts are important is because that's what we're paying for as advertisers. If I'm buying 1 million impressions and Twitter tells me that 995,000 of them are real people and then charges me a price, but then I find out that only 700,000 of them were real people, I'm going to be pretty PO'd as an advertiser. Now, to defend himself, Musk responded with another poo emoji. This time, it was to explain what it even means. I can't believe he had to do this. He wasn't calling Paraj a bad person or offering commentary about the streets of San Francisco or India. The emoji means BS, as if something that was said was untrue. You see, Shaq News writes, Twitter submits Elon's emoji as evidence of disparaging behavior, and then he just simply responds that it is BS. As I've been saying, the article finishes. This is on louderwithcrowder.com. I'm only here for the chaos. That chaos now involves poo emojis. It's an interesting, situation. We have this new news. Groundbreaking judge will oversee the lawsuit against Musk. The first female judge on Delaware's nationally known business court will oversee Twitter's lawsuit that seeks to hold Elon Musk in agreement. Kathleen McCormick took over the role as chancellor or chief judge last year after the retirement of Andre Bouchard on the Court of Chancery, a favored venue for large corporate disputes. A lady? Well, let's see if Elon can manage to not impregnate her. I suppose that would be, a good first start. But you see, the Wall Street Journal and all these other people writing, Twitter's lawsuit against Elon Musk makes him Twitter's lawsuit against Elon Musk looks like a loser. The company probably cannot prove damages, and its shareholders weren't a party to the agreement. Twitter sued Elon Musk, seeking to compel him to buy the company, and even the Wall Street Journal thinks that Elon Musk is going to win. I just don't think, I don't see a very strong likelihood that someone will be, that a court is going to force somebody to spend, $44 billion. You see, where alternative exists, other remedies usually make more sense. Imagine a contract was to paint Hearst Castle, and the painter walked away, and the court would be reluctant to force the painter to do the job. No one wants to have his house painted by someone under court order. A coerced painter might skimp on quality, which then could require the court to then get involved again. For this reason, Delaware courts have rarely ordered specific performance in merger agreements. If Mr. Musk doesn't want to buy Twitter, it doesn't make much sense for the court to force him to do so. Twitter might be worse off under his ownership at that point, a fate Twitter's board is legally obligated to try and avoid. There are other potential buyers. There are also other potential buyers for Twitter. What happens if the court orders specific performance and Mr. Musk refuses? The only means the court has to compel him is to line up financing and affix his signatures to a deal is by holding him in contempt if he refuses. But it isn't Mr. Musk that promised to buy Twitter, but two entities under his control. The court could hold them criminal contempt, but as Lord Thurlow observed, corporations have neither bodies to be punished nor souls to be condemned. Mr. Musk promised to, quote, cause these entities to consummate the deal, but a court is unlikely to jail him if he shirks or refuses. Mr. Musk could play a high-stakes game of chicken that ultimately reveals that courts are extraordinarily limited in cases like this if the parties don't want to play along. That's exactly what I've been saying all along. He's gotten the case has, Twitter has no chance. And I bet you they'll never see $1 billion of this breakup fee. So their only real opportunity is to renegotiate, which is what Elon wants to do anyway. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please make sure you subscribe down below. And we'll see you on later today's live stream. We'll talk to you again real soon.